what it looks like the morning before we go to Cedar Point. It's pretty out there. It's not pretty over here.
Well, hello everybody, this is Greenbean with Full-Time Coaster Tour, the only family on the internet that sold it all to ride them all. And today we are excited to show you our 2-day excursion to a place we've been waiting our whole entire lives to get to, none other than Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. Dude, look at this place.
Oh my god, that's insane.
Insane it is. You can see this skyline from miles away, and it is the most exciting thing to drive up to. We were able to get there for the extra pass holder hour-long secret entry thing that they offer. So we were there waiting online with all the season pass holders, and you get an extra hour to float around the park and pick your coasters before the masses come in. And we wanted to hit a Giga, but we had to do something first. So guys, we are in. It is not even 9 a.m. yet, so we have to wait on our first ride of choice. So which one is it and why? Julia.
Raptor, because I'm too scared to go on the 300-foot one first.
There it is. What do you think of that?
I'm just excited to be here.
So we had to go on Raptor because 300 feet to start the day was just a little bit too much. And I gotta tell you, I've been on this perpetual search for a B&M invert that matches the now defunct Dueling Dragons at Universal. And I haven't found it, but Raptor's just about as close as I've found. I know Montu gets a lot of love, but I think this one might be my favorite, and it was a good choice to start the day. Now, we walked right by Val Raven to try to get to some place that we knew would be mobbed in just a little while, and that is the record-breaking Giga coaster Millennium Force. We made a beeline directly to this coaster and then immediately to Steel Vengeance. These were the two coasters we were told would have the longest lines upon park opening, so we took care of these right away. Look at this thing. This is still the world's tallest RMC when I'm recording this, and I gotta say, this just might be the best coaster I've ever been on. That title used to go to Intimidator 305 at King's Dominion, but no longer. This thing is a monster. Super long. You think it's going to end and it doesn't. It's amazing. Now, we followed that with Maverick. Look at the line. This is what I was talking about and why that early hour means so much. Maverick was the first coaster that we did after the masses flooded the place at 10 a.m. And this coaster is another one that is just fantastic. There were numerous people that I've talked to. This is their favorite coaster at Cedar Point, but I don't think so. I think it goes to Steel Vengeance. Now, Cedar Point is interesting. Lots of neat little places where animals and birds are running around, and I'll show you more of them throughout the video. But the next coaster that we were able to get on was an Aerodynamics mine train ride. And look, let's be honest here. It's fun. It's an Aero mine train, and it is what it is. I'm glad that it's still there because these classic coasters are really important to hold on to a little history as we push the limits with all these new mega coasters that we have every year. Now, if you have somebody in your group that's thinking of cutting their teeth in the photography realm, Cedar Point is just about as good of a place as you're going to find for that. I'm telling you, every single area that you go into, they do such a good job of making you feel immersed in that environment. It's really well done, and I gotta say, it's just about on theme park levels. Now, we did end up buying the fast lane line jumper tool before we moved on and rode any more coasters, with Gemini first on the list.
The blue train always wins, and the daughter wanted the blue train. So let's see how it goes. I think we're gonna pull it off. We're gonna pull it off. Red train's gonna win.
Nine, you stink.
I can't believe you guys won. Yeah. So the blue train won, and it turns out the blue train wins more often than not, right?
Yeah, same thing at Hershey Park.
What?
Same thing at Hershey Park, remember? Roar?
Yeah, with
Thunder
lightning.
Roar is one.
With lightning racers. We decided to eat at the Happy Fryer. Is that what it was called?
Happy fries?
Happy Fries. Happy Fryer, which is buckets or things of French fries. What do you call it? Baskets. We found a nice little seat right next to Gemini here. So we get to eat right next to this. It's a very Cedar Point-esque lunch spot. What do you think of the corn dogs and fries? What do you think of your garlic parmesan fries? Can I try one?
Those are really garlicky.
Oh, I got a good one.
They're really garlicky, but they're good.
So I think these corn dogs are a little too fried, right? A little too much. What do you guys think?
I never liked corn dogs. Never will.
Now, we walked past the coasters in Camp Snoopy to get to the monster of the entire place. This one is on an entirely different level, and I'll let you watch so you can see what I'm talking about here with Top Thrill Dragster. And this brings us to one of only 5 remaining Aerodynamics suspended coasters left in the world, this being the oldest of them all, 1987 Iron Dragon. Makes me miss the Big Bad Wolf at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. And this one isn't quite as good, but it's still cool seeing it there. And look at this one, the Corkscrew, another Aerodynamics coaster, nestled right next to another one of those beautiful outside areas I told you about earlier. Look at the beach. This place has so many aspects to it that are just so different from other amusement parks. Look at this. Remember that coaster that was over the front gate as we walked in? This is Gatekeeper. That's when we got on this amazing B&M wing coaster. One of the best I've ever been on, quite frankly. Absolutely enjoyable. My daughter said, "I love this," while riding it. So we're going to wrap up our first day at Cedar Point with this. One of only 2 racing carousels in the entire world. This, the Cedar Downs Racing Derby, where the horses not only go up and down, they go back and forth in those little slots you can see there. Another original aspect of Cedar Point. And that was the end. We walked out of our first day at Cedar Point, ready to finish up everything that we missed on day 1 with day 2. All right. Guys, we just got our first credit of the day. First new credit. We did start the day with Gatekeeper, but our first credit of the day is Val Raven. Tell me your thoughts on your first dive coaster ever.
It was pretty fun. The hangover wasn't too bad.
The hangover. We were in the back row, so we didn't get to dangle our feet over the top of the track, right?
Yeah.
Which we kind of enjoyed.
But the drop in the back is 15 feet longer than the people whose feet are dangling, so we got the full experience on the drop. Score 1 to 10, Val Raven.
I'm gonna go with a solid 8.
8. What about you?
7.5.
9. We just got off Millennium Force. Now, we were on this one last time. This is the 310-foot, 93-mile-an-hour coaster. This time, as many times as I've gotten dizzy on coasters, and I thought, oh, I grayed out a little bit. This was my first legitimate gray out. On the bottom of the first hill, 93 miles an hour, I saw twinkly lights, and the color started coming into a black point. I never lost consciousness, but man, I don't remember anything for the first half of the ride. That ride's intense. So So there's where the blackout happened. I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Right here, darkness. Darkness. So we're gonna go on Rougarou now. This would be our second new credit of the day. This is it used to be a stand-up coaster named Mantis, and now it is a floorless called Rougarou. Rougarou, the coaster that in 1995 was the world's tallest, fastest, and longest stand-up coaster, since 2015 has been a floorless coaster named Rougarou. Still a great ride, super smooth, all the elements are great, and again, it was once the longest stand-up coaster in the world, so it's still a pretty long ride. And this is kind of your entry point to the section of the park they call Frontier Town, which is a super cool, oh, look at that, that's our faces on Rougarou. Yeah. So Frontier Town looks just like it sounds. Think Tom Sawyer's Island at the Magic Kingdom in Disney World. And this is the area that they have an area called the Barnyard. Lots of animals. Look at the swans here and the ponies. And you'll see donkeys and all sorts of stuff right under Millennium Force. Remember, that's where I passed out before. But this is one of those areas that really surprised us with Cedar Point. We never saw this coming with the Barnyard. There's a Chick-fil-A right there. So even though Cedar Point is really most well known for their coasters, there are so many other things to do here, and that includes their collection of flat rides. Look at Pipe Scream here, which is really just a Zamperla disco, but it's twice as big in Cedar Point style as discos you'd see at other places. And then there are rides like the Monster, which, you know, from my childhood, I saw this at every carnival, every seaside pier. Hey! And then there's just the placement of the rides. This is when we got on the Corkscrew, that Aerodynamics classic coaster, and look at it, goes right over the walkway. I love when amusement parks consider such things. Now, their newest ride at Cedar Point is the Snake River Expedition, and this one is really an attempt at mimicking the Jungle Cruise at Disney, and I'm going to tell you, in our opinion, it was pretty much a big fail. It's sad to say, but it's the truth. And I wanted to tell you that we were there during Wicked Twister's last week in operation before they took it out. And I wanted to just give that ride its full respect. And you can see all the people trying to get their last rides on this one before it moves wherever Cedar Fair wants to move it. Look at how long the lines were. They were not that long before this. Here we go, Wicked Twister.
The tiki twirl. It's nuts. Everybody's freaking out.
So as we wrap up our last day at Cedar Point, I'll show you one of their 3 classic carousels. This one I have a full video. I'll put the link right above there. And we'll get some final thoughts on Cedar Point. We spent 2 days there. All right, we're leaving Cedar Point. We're all tired and hot. How was your day? How was your experience here?
I feel like my legs are being chopped off currently.
Chopped off? What does that mean? What do you mean your legs are being chopped off?
I feel like they are. They are in so much pain.
What was your favorite thing today, though?
Either the ride on Millennium Force or Val Raven.
Val Raven was good. What was your favorite thing today?
Millennium Force.
Yeah? Pretty good. So there's our trip to Cedar Point. Please like and subscribe to follow the rest of our National Coaster Tour.